don't be disappointed, man. Mike got in tip-top shape. His best shape he could get into for a 58-year-old man. And he went in there and rumbled with a 27-year-old man.
What do you want?
You know,
where are you going?
the legs wasn't, excuse the language, y'all. The language wasn't, I mean, not the language, but the legs wasn't, you know, all the way there. The legs wasn't all the way there. Reflexes ain't all the way there. But that's to be expected, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, man, respect Mike for getting in tip-top shape. You know, respect both of them for putting on this kind of event, man, because the event was live, bro. I didn't think they was going to fill it up. They filled it up. It was probably maybe a few little seats at the top in the nosebleeds that wasn't full, but, man, they did that. They did that. You got to respect that, man. Y'all have a good night. I got to say my name. Y'all keep talking about me fighting Jake Paul, man. Keep talking about that. Huh? I'm an old man now. I've been retired 7 years. I ain't touched a boxing gym in 7 years. Why y'all want me to fight Jake? Gotta say my name, though. I can't even entertain it. You gotta say my name. Ain't nobody said my name in 7 years. There's a reason for that. You gotta say my name. We might be able to talk about it. Maybe something I can think about, but it's time that bro start, you know, he gotta fight somebody that's a real threat, because we know he can sell. We know all of that. But what he's after is legitimacy. He's trying to legitimize himself. And Canelo don't take that fight, which he said he wasn't gonna do it, man. You gotta fight somebody that's gonna give you some clout.
So what did you think of the fight?
It wasn't a good one.
It wasn't a good one.
No.
Yeah. Overall, how'd you just see how Jake fought, how Mike fought?
Well, you know, you can tell something was wrong with the Tyson leg.
Yeah, the knee.
So he couldn't, his balance was off.
Oh, that's crazy. You noticed that. I just talked to his trainer and he told me that exact thing.
Yeah.
His balance was off.
His balance was off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, overall, like, how do you see Jake growing from this, and who do you want to see him fight against now?
Well, you know, I'm like, he's a pretty good fighter.
Hey, it was because, I don't know, man. I mean, I just think it was good. I mean, I think it was entertaining up to a point, and, you know, it was okay. The people seem to, you know, kind of be enjoyed, especially the anticipation of them coming in the ring was amazing.
Evander Holyfield, I talked to him yesterday. He said he'd be willing to get in there with Mike Tyson.
I bet he will.
Yeah, like, I remember I asked you, after seeing this, would you still want to see it?
I'm good.
58 years old, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's go in there, you know what I'm saying? But then record Jake Paul too. Big shout to Jake Paul, man, but just going in there and displaying skills. He didn't display no super skills tonight. He displayed boxing, great ability, and yo, I take my hat up to him.
Were you proud of Mike Tyson tonight, 58 years of age?
Always proud of Mike. Mike is my hero. I love him regardless. You know, listen, he did great.
Fight. What did you think about it? Were you happy with Mike's performance?
Listen, I love Mike Tyson. He can do no wrong in my eyes. Him getting inside the ring and everything just brought me so much joy to be able to see with my own eyes. I mean, yeah, of course you want to see Mike Tyson knock somebody out, but he's 58, man, and I'm just happy I got to witness it tonight, and he's the baddest man on the planet to me, still. Okay, still baddest man on the planet.
Do you think Jake took it a little easy on him?
No, I think Jake was trying to set him up for the okie doke. He was trying to play.
We're all hoping to see a little flash of the old Mike, and we saw like someone who, you know, I wish I'd seen the old Mike. You know, not to take anything from Jake, but you know, Mike looks his age, and you know he should. Look, I take that back. He did a lot better than a lot of 58-year-olds would have done, but you know,
Is Jake good for the sport?
I think it is. About 70,000 people out. Me and Mike.
Eddie, what did you
make of that? I didn't really watch it. I was in Katie's change room. She was getting stitched up. I watched the first 30 seconds, which were quite entertaining, and then after it was just horrible to watch. And that's, I just like. Did you enjoy watching most of that fight? The back, like it was hard to watch, but it was always going to be like that.
around round 3, Mike seemed to be running out of gas a little bit. You were working the jab really well. At any point, did you start to take your foot off the gas just a little bit because you noticed he was tiring out?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a bit. You know, I wanted to give the fans a show, but I didn't want to hurt someone that didn't need to be hurt.
Did you feel Mike's power at all?
No.
He hit you with one. You gave him the tongue.
Only because the crowd, like...
What up, y'all? Hey, we saw what happened tonight. Mike came out, gave it all he had. Legs, you can tell, weren't with him tonight, so it was a little bit difficult. But thank God Jake didn't knock him out, because I would have felt bad for Jake, because Andre Ward was definitely going to go after Jake if he did knock Tyson out. So thank God he didn't. Thank God everybody ended up healthy, happy. Now I ain't got to worry about Andre coming out of retirement no time soon, so we all good.
Yo, Colby, what you think, man?
What did I think?
Yeah.
You know, I love seeing Mike out there doing what he loves to do. It's his passion. But I don't know. I think Jake looked a little soft tonight. He don't look like a real boxer, a pro boxer that's been training the last 10 years. So, you know, he needs to come see me one day. A guy that's in his prime that's going to walk him down and have that cardio. So.
Hey, what did you think of the fight? What did you think of the fight?
Jake!
It was disappointing. Would you like to see it again? Would you like to see it? Would you like to see Mike Tyson fight again in the ring, an exhibition match against Brandon Holyfield?
I always want to see Mike fight.
Yeah. Is this kind of what you expected?
He didn't get off fast.
What could he done different? Did Jake Paul look a little bit slow to you?
The most anticipated fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul finally came to an end, and here are some reactions from the pros and experts. UFC legend Randy Couture believed that Tyson still had the knockout power to take down any opponent. After watching training footage of Tyson, Couture remarked that even at 57, Tyson was more than capable of knocking out Jake Paul. Jake Paul survived Tyson's power, proving his durability in the ring against a former champion.
I mean, look at the training footage. That pop is still there. That explosive speed and power is still there. I think this, you know, obviously he's still a 58-year-old Mike Tyson, but he's still got it, in my opinion. And though that bodes well for going out and this probably ending within the first or second round.
Sean Strickland voiced his concerns about Tyson's age, but did so in a bad manner. He criticized and abused Jake Paul for fighting an older fighter, using curse words that emphasized his disdain for Jake Paul. Jake Paul faced heavy criticism, but stood strong, showing his resolve in the face of adversity.
It's, I mean, how old is Mike Tyson, 60?
57.
57. Jake Paul, you are a disgrace of a man. You are the epitome of weakness. You are the scum of the earth. The fact that you even have a platform or anything of that nature is a slight on society. You truly make me, and if I ever encounter you in real life, I hope that I just don't lose my and go to prison.
Francis Ngannou believed that Tyson's experience and skill set would likely provide him an advantage over Paul. At the same time, renowned boxing trainer Freddie Roach expressed confidence in Tyson's prospects, suggesting that his experience could compensate for the notable age gap. Jake Paul overcame Tyson's legendary experience and claimed a victory, proving that youth and preparation can trump age.
Yesterday or the day before, and you said that you think Mike Tyson's gonna beat my...
Yeah. I do.
Hey,
I mean,
you trained with Tyson. You trained with Tyson leading up to you.
Listen, I have seen Tyson moves around, just like to show me stuff. He was like this footwork moving, like you move like this, and I'm like, hold on, like, you know, calm down. You know, so
he still got it. He still got it.
He's not.
You think Mike Tyson's knocking him out?
Either way, I think Mike Tyson will beat you up.
Damn, so we better enjoy our time with you while we got it, brother.
Hey, bro, it's been good.
Gene Kilroy, one of the last surviving members of Muhammad Ali's inner circle, was instrumental in shaping Ali's career, helping him achieve legendary status and become an international icon. Kilroy, who often referred to Ali as his closest friend, now saw a comparable fighting spirit in Tyson. In the 7th episode of Behind the Mic, Kilroy expressed his amazement at Tyson's impressive preparation. Jake Paul faced the daunting spirit of a boxing legend and emerged victorious, securing his place in the sport.
This is the strongest I've ever seen you.
Yeah?
Yeah, the strongest I've ever, and I know you since you're 13. I think this impressed the shit out of me. Nothing impresses me. You know, I'm gonna tell you the truth, I don't lie. I was worried about him traveling here, traveling there, he's not getting, I can sleep now at night. This is great.
Rampage Jackson voiced his strong support for Mike Tyson, his favorite boxer. Despite Tyson's age and health issues, Rampage wouldn't bet against him. He recognized the unpredictability of the ring, but emphasized his loyalty and admiration for Tyson's legacy. Jake Paul defied the odds and triumphed, proving that even legends must eventually pass the torch.
Man, I'd never bet against Mike Tyson. He's my favorite boxer.
Yeah. You think he can, like, you know, he's had a health scare and everything. He's only getting older.
Yeah. Father time undefeated, but you know what I'm saying, I still ain't gonna go against Mike Tyson against Jake Paul. Anything can happen in the boxing ring, but I ain't gonna go against Mike Tyson.
Shannon Briggs discussed the significance of speed in boxing, noting that a fighter like Tyson can be particularly dangerous by beating opponents to the punch. He mentioned the fear factor associated with facing someone so unique and versatile, emphasizing that Tyson's ability to switch stances and execute hard-to-train-for moves made him a formidable opponent. He concluded that the way to win would be through speed. Jake Paul used his speed and agility to outmaneuver Tyson, demonstrating that precision can overpower brute force.
There's got to be one thing that really separates him from the pack as boxers, not from fans.
I mean, just speed. Yeah. For us, if somebody's so fast that when you go to punch and they beat you to the punch, or it's dangerous. And he was just ferocious. I think a lot of times too, the fear factor going into a fight with a guy like that. Nobody has seen a guy like that to that point. Here he not really fighting left-handed. He going both ways. You know what I'm saying? He was squaring up. He was doing things that you really it's hard to train for. So he was just so dangerous.
Lennox Lewis, another boxing legend, voiced a different concern regarding the upcoming fight. After famously knocking out Tyson in the 8th round in 2002, Lewis expressed that his main worry was Paul's safety. While he didn't believe Tyson would seriously harm Paul, he was apprehensive about how Paul would handle facing such a seasoned veteran. Jake Paul took on the challenge and faced a seasoned veteran in Tyson, emerging as the victor despite the danger.
Turning to the ring at the ripe old age of, I believe, 58 or 59 years of age, your opinion on that, of course, as somebody who, you've been rivals with Mike, you've known Mike for many, many years. A lot of people concerned about him returning to the ring against Jake Paul.
What are they concerned about? Yeah, I mean, Mike Tyson knows how to defend himself, and he's boxing against a guy that not as good as boxer as he is, and Mike Tyson knows how to throw a good punch, he knows how to break you down, so I'm more concerned about the other guy.
Tyson Fury believed Mike Tyson would shock the world and teach the problem child a lesson when they eventually went head-to-head. Jake Paul shocked the world, proving that experience isn't always the key to victory.
If Mike Tyson hits anybody, I don't care if he's 90, he's going to knock him out cold, isn't he? It's I am Mike Tyson. Obviously, I have to back Mike Tyson. I'm named after the legend, and I back him. As he always backs me. I'm backing Mike for the knockout. Come on, Mike!
Showbiz the Adult asserted that at 58, Tyson still possessed the fire within him. After evaluating Tyson's recent sparring session, he noted that Tyson maintained the aura and strength to compete with anyone today. Jake Paul faced a revitalized Tyson and still managed to claim victory, showing his own strength and determination.
Mike Tyson's going to beat Jake Paul. You want to know how I know? Check out how little his head moves when they take off his headgear.
Yeah. I got a lot in me.
Bruh. That brother's so damn strong.
Yeah. Trust me. I got a lot in me.
His head. If his head that strong, the rest of his body. Look at it again.
Yeah. Trust me. I got a lot in me.
Hey, if you snatched off my headgear, my head would move at least a little bit, dog.
BJ Flores, Jake Paul's former trainer, believed the fight would be compelling, especially early on. He pointed out that Mike Tyson had the experience, power, and ability to land heavy shots with proper leverage, something Jake had never faced. However, Flores also noted that Jake was the younger, faster, and fitter fighter. To win, Jake would need to survive Tyson's early onslaught, as Tyson would be most dangerous in the opening rounds. Jake Paul outlasted Tyson's early onslaught, proving his resilience and tactical approach in the fight.
It's a good fight, you know, whether you like Jake, whether you like Mike, it's going to be interesting, especially early. You know, Mike's got the experience, he's got the power, he knows how to position himself to get into proper leverage, to land power shots, and that's something Jake's never been against before, so it's going to be interesting. But I think Jake's the younger, faster, more fit fighter. He's got to get to those later rounds, but Mike's going to be dangerous early.
Flores added that Mike Tyson would be Jake Paul's toughest challenge yet, citing Tyson's power and size, as he was a 235 to 240-pound fighter. Jake, who fought at 200 pounds in his last bout against Mike Perry, was not accustomed to carrying 225 pounds, making the weight change a key factor. Flores expressed his support for Jake, but acknowledged that it would be interesting to see how Jake adjusted to Tyson's strength and power in the fight. Jake Paul faced Tyson's overwhelming power and size, yet he adapted, proving his skills had grown beyond his previous bouts.
I think he's going to be real dangerous. I think this is going to be a very interesting challenge for Jake. It's going to be, you know, definitely Mike is more dangerous than anybody he's fought by far. He's got power. He's a 235 to 240-pound guy. Jake isn't used to necessarily carrying 225 pounds either. His last fight with Mike Perry in July was 200. It's not easy to go from 200 to 225, one fight to the next. So it's going to be interesting to see how, what kind of adjustments Jake has made in camp for that. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm behind Jake. I hope Jake wins this fight, but I think it's going to be interesting.
Fernando Vargas stated that Mike Tyson's one-hitter-quitter power is the last thing to fade with age. He emphasized that while speed and agility may diminish, Tyson's knockout ability remained intact. Vargas pointed out that if Tyson landed even one solid punch, Jake Paul would be in uncharted territory, having never faced that kind of power before. Jake Paul survived Tyson's one-hitter-quitter power and proved that even a veteran's knockout punch can be weathered.
All Mike has to do is touch him one time. And Mike Tyson has that one-hitter-quitter power. That's the last thing that goes. Like I said, your speed will go, your agility will go. You know, the way you throw punches might be a little bit slower. But when you got that one-hitter-quitter power, it evens everything out. But that power stays there for life. So all Mike has to do is touch him one time. And then he's never been hit with anything like that in his life. That's all I got to say about that.
Jeff Fennick commented that the outcome of the fight depended on Mike Tyson's preparation and mindset. He dismissed Jake Paul's claim that the longer the fight went, the more money Tyson would make, advising Tyson to focus on knocking Paul out rather than the financial aspect. Fennick believed that if Tyson was fully focused, the fight could end in 2 rounds, possibly even the first, as he was confident a clean punch from Tyson would finish the fight immediately. Jake Paul withstood Tyson's early power, defying expectations and lasting longer than many anticipated.
On obviously Mike and what he's prepared to do, because I have heard a lot of times that Jake Paul was saying that the longer it goes, the more money Mike's going to get. I mean, listen, forget about the money for Mike. Don't worry about getting 5 or 10 million more. Just knock him out and get the victory and prove to everybody, you know, what you said you could do. And that's what I hope Mike does. And if he does that, I think that it would be over within 2 rounds. I think it could be over in the first round. I think as soon as Mike hits him with a clean punch, the fight will be over.
Michael Jai White expressed skepticism about Jake Paul's readiness to face Mike Tyson, suggesting that Tyson might be too much for him. He pointed out that Jake wasn't significantly bigger and that Tyson had a history of fighting larger opponents. White raised concerns about how Paul would handle a body shot from Tyson, implying that he might not be prepared for that level of impact. Jake Paul withstood Tyson's power, proving that his preparation was enough to handle any challenge.
I would think that, you know, I would think that he probably would be a little much for Jake Paul, because I mean, Jake is not that much bigger. I mean, Tyson was always used to much bigger guys. And when I just think about what's Jake Paul gonna do if Tyson hits him in the body, I just don't think he's ready for that.
Spencer Fearon made it clear that the Mike Tyson he knew was the ferocious, dominant champion from the late 80s, the Tyson who destroyed Trevor Berbick in 2 rounds to become the WBC heavyweight champion in 1986, and then annihilated Michael Spinks in just 91 seconds in 1988. Fearon emphasized that the Tyson in the ring today was no longer the prime powerhouse of those unforgettable moments, but rather a branded figure who had transcended his fighting legacy. While the Mike Tyson brand was still iconic, Fearon believed that a loss to Jake Paul wouldn't tarnish that legacy. Jake Paul defied the odds and showed that even legends must eventually step aside for the next generation.
I'm not looking, that's not Mike Tyson. Do you understand? That's not Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is the guy of November of 86, when he destroyed Trevor Berbick in 2 rounds to become the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. I mean, Mike Tyson of June of 88, when he destroys Michael Spinks in around 91 seconds. That's the Mike Tyson that I know. Do you know what I mean? That's the Mike Tyson I know. I don't know this guy here. You know what I mean? I know Mike Tyson, the brand. We're seeing Mike Tyson, the brand, but the brand will not be diminished if something was to go tits up against Jake Paul. It wouldn't, because it's still Mike Tyson.
Fearon also pointed out that Jake Paul was in a no-win situation. If Paul defeated Tyson, he would beat an aging fighter well past his prime, which many would dismiss as an unworthy victory. On the flip side, if Paul lost, he would face the embarrassment of being defeated by a pensioner, further diminishing his credibility in the boxing world. In essence, Paul's challenge against Tyson was a lose-lose scenario, no matter the outcome. Jake Paul then navigated the no-win situation and walked away victorious, proving his critics wrong.
And Jake Paul's kind of put himself in a kind of no-win situation, because if he beats Mike Tyson, you beat up an old man who is a pensioner, right? And if you lose to Mike Tyson, you got beat by a pensioner.
Tyson's cutman Duran Stitch praised Mike Tyson's evolution under trainer Cordo, combining Tyson's natural power with smarter tactics. He believed this blend should lead to a victory over Jake Paul, but avoided predicting a stoppage, as outcomes in boxing were uncertain. He expressed respect for Jake Paul's commitment to the sport, and emphasized his focus on ensuring a safe, competitive fight for both fighters. Jake Paul proved his commitment to boxing and handled the challenge with maturity and skill.
Oh, that's what I was telling you. Javier Cordero done a tremendous job in giving him another style of fighting outside of. You don't want to take away that style that Mike has, because that's Mike. But now he made him a lot smarter and not harder. And to combine them both should result in a victory.
Should result in a victory. Do you think that he stops Jake Paul?
I never predict those. You know that. I mean, you always ask me those questions. I don't predict them because I don't know and you don't know. You know, do I care? Nah, I just want a good fight. I just want to make sure that they're both safe. And props to Jake Paul, man. I got a lot of respect for that young man. I've done those fights with him and against Logan Paul with KSI, right? Good kids, man, and they're doing a great job.
Coach Mustafa Meekins acknowledged Tyson's age, but still praised his fitness and skill. While he favored Jake Paul due to youth and recent experience, Meekins warned not to be surprised if Tyson scored a knockout. He highlighted Tyson's greatness, suggesting a win could spark demand for his return from retirement. Jake Paul outlasted Tyson's veteran skills and solidified his place in boxing with a hard-earned victory.
Mike looks good. He's older, but he looks good. You would have to favor Jake Paul, just being honest. But I'll say this, don't be surprised if Tyson knocks him out. Don't be surprised. It'd be an upset, but don't forget, Tyson's a great fighter. And put nothing past him.
If Tyson knocks him out, there's no way they're going to let him stay retired. They're going to want more of him.
Of course. But I mean, it is what it is, let him go. If he can do it.
Mike Tyson's advisor, Amir Abdallah, initially advised against the fight, feeling Tyson didn't need to return to boxing at 58 given his financial success and other ventures. However, once Tyson decided to take the fight, Abdallah fully supported him. He emphasized that they had assembled the best possible team considering Tyson's age, and believed Tyson's hard work would be evident in the upcoming bout. Jake Paul defied expectations, showing that age isn't the only factor in a fight and proving his own growth as a boxer.
Well, I mean, my advice when it first came out, and I think Mike's initial one was, we don't need the fight. And you know, I wasn't at 58 years old. I'm not a fan of Mike coming back into boxing. He has so many other ventures that he could do. I mean, financially, thank God he's doing very well, and he has different things. But you know, Mike's a fighter, and when the deal got proposed to him, Regardless of what my advice was, he said, we're going to take the fight. So, my job is to give advice, and then when Mike makes the decision, I back him up 100% regardless of what it is. And that's exactly what I'm doing. We put together, I think, the best team that you could possibly put together, given his age, given where he is in life, giving everything, and Mike's been busted. Come Friday, that's going to show.
Teddy Atlas believed that despite being 58, Mike Tyson still retained key physical attributes like quick-twitch fibers and muscle memory, making him a dangerous opponent for Jake Paul. Tyson's ability to slip punches, weave, and land powerful hooks hadn't diminished, and while his speed may have declined with age, his knockout power remained intact. The early rounds could have been perilous for Paul if the fight had been legitimate. However, Jake Paul's determination and strategic training might have ensured his victory even against Tyson's formidable early onslaught.
I'll tell you one thing. He still has quick twitch fibers. He still has muscle memory. He was a great heavyweight champion. That he's still, he still remembers how to slip, how to throw and fill a hole when he slipped, how to weave, how to come out of it with a hook. He still has power. The last thing to go, reflexes are gonna go. Speed is gonna be deteriorated, but power is the last thing to go. He still has power. He's still got that quick twitch with speed. The early rounds will be, if it's real. I don't know if it's real. I know one thing that's real. You know what that is? They're gonna make a lot of money. That I know. But as far as anything else, I don't know. But if it is real, the first couple of rounds are going to be dangerous for Paul. Even at 58, I don't care. They're going to be dangerous if it's real.
Atlas also acknowledged Jake Paul's intelligence and dedication to the sport, crediting him for putting in the work to improve his skills. While Paul's opponents had mainly been UFC fighters, not elite strikers, Atlas saw his commitment to learning boxing as legitimate. Paul's strategic approach to his career, including hiring a trainer and training for years, deserved respect. Paul's ongoing progress and tactical approach made him a real contender, securing his win against Tyson's experience. Johnny Nelson reflected on Mike Tyson's return to the ring at 58, recognizing that while Tyson's experience still made for an exciting fight, his body no longer operated at the level it once did. He acknowledged that Tyson's prime was long past, and while Jake Paul was targeting high-profile names for business reasons, Tyson's earnings from the fight wouldn't be life-altering, though still substantial. Nelson expressed hope that Tyson delivered a strong performance, even mentioning a dream where Tyson knocked out Paul, though he remained skeptical it would actually happen. Despite Nelson's doubts, Jake Paul's focus and commitment would have seen him rise above Tyson's legacy and secure a victory.
Let's just remember, Mike Tyson is 58 years old. Let's remember, Mike Tyson at the back end of his boxing career was not the fighter he was. So those of us that are getting lost in nostalgia about what Mike Tyson, who Mike Tyson was, he'd gone a long time ago. So now this Mike Tyson is experienced enough to know how to sell a fight. He knows how the basics of a fight, what needs to be done. He knows what he needs to do in his head, but his body's 58 years old, so his body won't do what he wanted to do when he was getting paid to do this job at the back end of his career. Now, Jake Paul, again, it's business. This boy is buying scalps, and Mike Tyson said the money that he makes from this is not life-changing money. I beg to differ. I do think he's going to make a shite load. And he's probably heard the whispers that say Mike's doing it for the money, even if he needs it or not. I hope Mike shows a good representation of himself. I did have another dream.
Oh God!
And
you're gonna have to tell us the dream this time.
And so, yeah, but I say what I see, it just comes out wrong. I dreamt that Mike knocked him out, but I didn't see Mike knocking him out in the dream. Someone said Mike had knocked him out.
Okay.
Knocked out Jake Paul.
Katie Taylor, the undisputed lightweight champion, featured on the undercard of the Tyson-Paul fight and was excited about the opportunity. While she was thrilled, Taylor also understood the concerns raised by other fighters about the matchup. She acknowledged Tyson's status as one of the greatest boxers in history and recognized that, despite the challenges he faced due to age, his legacy was unquestionable. Taylor believed that even at 58, it would be a monumental task for anyone to defeat Tyson, underscoring the formidable nature of the former champion. Nonetheless, Jake Paul's training and youth would have proven enough to defeat even Tyson's legendary status.
I have my concerns as well, just like everybody else. I absolutely love Mike Tyson. He's everybody's hero in the sport, isn't he? He's an icon, legend in sport, and I just don't want to see him losing to Jake Paul. I just really respect Mike as a fighter and what he's done for the sport, and there's just nobody like him as a heavyweight. He walked into the ring with his aura. He's a black towel around him. No music sometimes.
Spencer Oliver recently revealed unique insight from Roy Jones Jr., who shared his thoughts on the potential Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. Oliver explained that Roy, having trained and sparred with Tyson in recent years, was convinced that Tyson could still handle Jake Paul, regardless of his age. According to Jones, Tyson had the ability to get himself in shape for such a fight, and he believed Mike could choose the right time to step into the ring and deal with Paul with ease. However, Jake Paul's growth and hard work would have made him the stronger fighter by fight night.
Who's going to win?
I was with Roy Jones last week.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah,
actually.
and Roy was saying, listen, it doesn't matter what shape Mike's in. Mike will get himself in some sort of shape to be able to deal with this kid. He's convinced it happens, and Mike can choose his time whenever he wants, and it'll be that easy.
Wow.
He said, I shared a ring with him a couple of years ago, and trust me, he can still whack. He's still dangerous, and he'll still have way too much for Jake Paul. So
I agree with that.
Are we going to see Mike do as well?
Former champion James Toney said Mike Tyson would have knocked Jake Paul out in 30 seconds. He stated Paul wasn't ready for the pressure Tyson would bring and couldn't handle the level of skill and power Tyson possessed. Toney made it clear that Tyson would dominate effortlessly, with Paul being outmatched from the start. Despite Toney's strong belief in Tyson, Jake Paul's determination and tactical ability would have led him to victory against the legendary boxer.
I'm still the baddest MF in the world, period. Period. Jake Paul don't want to see me. He's in his damn mouth. Jake Paul.
Who wins, Mike Tyson or Jake Paul?
Come on, no, you need to slap yourself for that. You know damn well Michael knock that motherfucker out within 30 seconds.
30 seconds?
30 seconds. Jake Paul.
Oscar De La Hoya voiced doubts about Tyson's ability to last throughout a fight, although he conceded that Tyson still had the potential to land a knockout, particularly in the early rounds. De La Hoya also took aim at Jake Paul's choice of opponents, claiming Paul had largely picked fighters who offered him an edge instead of facing real challenges. Nevertheless, he acknowledged that Tyson's knockout power could still catch people off guard. However, Jake Paul's training, resilience, and ability to withstand early punches would have kept him ahead and secured him the win.
It's not going to be dangerous for Tyson. It will not be dangerous for Tyson because, I mean, Tyson's been up in the ring with, monsters. He has a chin. He can. I'm sure he can go 6 rounds, 7 rounds, 8 rounds. But I'm just concerned about Tyson's legacy. That's it.
Yeah, if Jake catches him with something, he is 57.
You just don't know. I've never seen a 57-year-old fighter up in the ring, against a strong guy, a strong bull like Jake Paul. So it's.
Is that good or bad for boxing if Jake finds a way to knock him out, yet alone beat him?
I think it'll be. I think it'll be sad for Tyson.
Lawrence Okoli expressed concerns about the potential fight, acknowledging that while Mike Tyson was much older, he could still pose a serious danger. He suggested that Jake Paul might be motivated to beat a legend like Tyson, which raised worries for Tyson's safety. Okoli concluded that it would be intriguing to see how the fight played out. In the end, Jake Paul's preparation and tactical mindset would have outshone Tyson's experience, ensuring a win.
I think it's still going to be dangerous. I'm actually quite worried because Mike Tyson's a lot older, and Jake Paul's the type of person that I think he would love nothing more than to be able to say I knocked out Mike Tyson and blah 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 blah. So I'm quite worried for Mike Tyson, but let's see.
Nate Diaz backed Mike Tyson, calling him the greatest of all time. Diaz believed Tyson had seen it all and knew exactly what he was capable of. Despite Diaz's backing, Jake Paul's determination and growth in the sport would have proven to be the decisive factor in his victory.
Mike Tyson's the GOAT, man. So I'm on Mike Tyson's side, so we'll see what happens.
Do you think Mike could take kind of...
I think he's seen it all, yeah. I think he knows.
David Coldwell said most people would have been hoping that an older Mike Tyson still had enough in the tank to defeat Jake Paul. He added that if the fight happened, Tyson would likely have had the upper hand. Nevertheless, Jake Paul's resilience and skills would have been too much for Tyson, ensuring a victory for Paul.
The majority of people will be praying that an old Mike Tyson has still got it in the tank to smash him to bits. And so the fight's made. If it goes ahead and it happens, then Go on, Mike.
Ricky Funes acknowledged that Mike Tyson was 60 years old, but believed he still had the power, especially with his training. He pointed out that while the fight might be an exhibition, there's still a risk of someone getting hurt. Jake Paul's preparation, youth, and toughness would have ensured that Tyson's age did not result in a win for him.
Tyson's, 60 years old? But I'm sure he still has that power. He's trained. It's an exhibition, but still someone could get hurt.
So what are your thoughts on this? Share your thoughts on Jake Paul's tremendous victory in the comments section, and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video.